Okay, Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So we will continue with your React classes. Okay, so let me share my screen. Oh. What do you mean by not audible? Did you listen, Abdullah? Like, did you listen? Was it fine or not? Oh, then yeah. I don't know, but this should be fine, inshallah. Okay. Libraries. You can use any number of libraries, but the problem is, as you add more and more libraries, your bundle size will increase. Since the final production bundle that you will get, right, that will be too much. So if it's too much, then site will take long time to load. Yeah, that's the only problem. Otherwise, there's no limitation. That is also possible. Like, you see that we saw, right? Okay, you can see my screen, right? Yeah. So we have this root element, right, in index.html file. Here, right. So our entire React app will be inside this division only, okay? And Angular, so if you want to use another framework as well, you can do the same thing. Like, you can have one more division, okay? Something like Angular root. And inside this division, you can have an entirely different Angular app. It's possible. Okay? You can even have multiple React apps actually. Like, okay, root 1, root 2. So in this case, for example, let's say that first one there's a React app inside this division. Inside this division, there's another React app, okay? I mean, in the sense that everything will be in the same website, okay? But these are three different applications. When you see from the code perspective, okay? Because there will be three set of code, right? So it is possible to combine between multiple frameworks, yeah. Yeah, practically we'll be doing only one. This is the normal thing. We'll be having only one React app. That's a general thing, but like if you are building something complex, then you may choose to have multiple things. And also it's a template actually. This, you see what is written here. The file is HTML template. So why they say it's a template? We'll learn about these things later, inshallah. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is, we can use multiple frameworks, and yeah, it is possible. Yeah. Okay. So I have started the server here, okay, and okay, I have to go inside this loader app. It's because, see, whenever I open this VS Code, right, it is inside this folder actually, Learn React App. That is why the terminal also is in that folder only. So what I can do in this case is, I can simply close this, okay, I'm closing VS Code now. What I will do is, like, I will open that folder again, okay. So here, okay, this is automatically opening now, okay. What I'll do now is, I'll go to File, okay, Open Folder, and Learn React. Inside that there's a learner app. So I'll select this folder here, okay. So in this case, if you see, right, so I'm going to discard everything else. So right now, if you see, even that folder itself is loaded here, okay. So if I open the terminal now, it will be already automatically be inside that folder, okay. Okay. So npm run start. No. I didn't delete anything. I just opened this folder itself in VS Code. Previously, I had opened the folder which was the parent for this folder. That is why I had to go inside the this folder every time I use a terminal, right? Now what I did was, I went here, File, Open Folder. So I opened this folder itself. This is the root level now, if you see. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, yesterday what we did was we spoke about JSX, right? We spoke about component as well, right? Yeah. So what we said was, whatever you put between these two brackets, they have to finally result to some string or number, right? So that's what we said yesterday, right? So this is a component now. Today we'll speak about props, okay? That's a very important concept. So there's something called as props. Props means properties, okay? So React components, they can have their own properties. Just like you have an object, right? If you have an object there, you have props, right? Like these are properties, right? Name, right? Profession, okay? Web developer. So these are properties, right? For that object. Likewise, we can say a React component also has properties. Actually, I'm saying it's properties, but it's called as props only, okay? But I guess they named it because it is like a property for that component, okay? So every React component can have their properties, okay? And where do we define them? We have to do it here actually. This is a function, right? So a function can accept arguments, right? So every React component accepts one argument, and that argument is the props. Okay, so this will be an object which has all the props, all of its props actually. So where will it get? So this is an object, okay? Type. Now what you have here is that the props, right? This props. So let me say all props, okay? You can give it any name that you want. It doesn't matter. So all props is an object, okay? So if it's an object, then how do we access a particular property from that? Dot notation, right? So we can say, for example, so let me do one thing now. Okay, let me delete this one here. Okay, so this is empty now as of now. So if you want to access a particular property, you have to do the dot notation, okay? All props dot whatever property that you want to access, okay? Simple as that, okay? So that's the first point. It's an object, okay? So every React component accepts one argument, and that argument is an object, and that object contains all the properties or props for that component. So where do we get the props from? This props will be passed from the parent component, okay? Tayyib. So right now if you see, we have greetings component, right? What I can do is, wherever I'm using that component, right? If I go to app.js, here I'm using greetings component, right? So here I will give the props. Whatever data that I want to share from the parent to the child, right? I can do it here, okay? So for greetings, right, I'm going to give one prop, okay? Called name is going to be Baji. Simple as that, okay? So I gave a prop here, okay? Yes, this is the parent component, right? This is one of the child component. So for the child component, what I'm saying is, I'm giving some data to it, okay? Just like when you call a function, right, you give some arguments, right? You give some input, right? Likewise, so inside the app component, I am using this greetings component, okay? So I'm giving some value to it, okay? Value called name. I'm giving it a prop called name, okay? Whose value is going to be Vaji. And this can be even defined here actually. Like I can even define it here, okay? Okay. Let's say my name. Okay. And I can use it here. Instead of a string, what I should do now? My name. But it's showing red color, right? Because if you're using a variable, you have to do like this. You have to enclose that in flower bracket. Okay? And here just don't confuse, okay? This flower bracket, right? Here you can put anything actually. It's not that has to be a string. Okay? This can be anything. Between these two flower brackets, you can do anything actually. You can even pass an object there, okay? Even if, let's say, okay, details, okay? So, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the one that I'm making here, okay? So name is going to be Vaji, okay? And you have profession. dev. Okay, so what I can do is, let me say details. Okay, so I'll say details. Okay, so I'm going to give a prop called details, and that's going to have this value here, and this is an object, right? This is possible because I'm giving as a prop. Okay, in prop it is possible, but I can't do it like here actually. This is not a prop actually, right? This is not possible. This will throw you error for you because this is not a prop, right? Can you understand it? Because this will directly come on the screen actually. Okay, so it has to be some string actually. As for here, I am passing a prop here. Okay, so that doesn't have to be a string actually. It can be anything. It can be an object, it can be a function, or whatever it may be. Okay. Okay. It will be displayed, okay, because there's a div operator, so it will be displayed here. Yeah. No, you can't do like that. Yeah, it has to be inside this return statement. Yeah, this whatever, see here, whatever you put between these return, right, that is what you'll see on the screen. Okay, whatever you write above, those things will not come. Those are the it will be empty. You won't see anything on the screen. So whatever you write between the this, whatever you return, right, from that will be your visual aspect. Okay, so and here the point is no, okay, so what I'm saying here, previously we saw that if you are going to use a variable here, right, inside JSX like this, that variable, like whatever you put between these two flower brackets, have to result to some string or number, right? This is what we said, right? Otherwise you will get error. For example, here there is a flower bracket, and details, if you see, it's an object. This is not a string actually. So if I now to save it, right, I will get error actually. Okay, because they say objects are not valid child components. You can't. It has to go to a string. Okay, but this doesn't apply for props. Okay, this will work. The reason is because I am passing as a prop here, right? This is not something like, can you understand it? This is a component, this is a React component. Okay, so I am passing some data to that only. Okay, I am not trying to render this directly on the screen actually. I am passing the data to some other component, which is clearly different actually. If I put here, right, this means I am trying to render this particular variable directly on screen. Okay, that is why it's throwing error actually. But here I'm not trying to render anything actually. I'm just trying to share some data. Okay, like I can completely disregard this data from inside this component. Okay, like I may never use it actually. This is not about rendering actually. This is about passing some data to some other component. Okay. Huh? You mean the details? Yes, I have to do something inside the component. Okay, that's a second part. Okay, so first what we have seen here is that we can pass data to our child component. Okay, by way of props. That's the first thing. Okay, and that prop can be anything actually. It can be an object, it can be function. It's not like it has to be a string. Okay. So how can I now if you see, I am passing this detail, right? So how can I display this in my screen actually? Right now if you see, right, you don't see anything, right? It's empty, because if you see in the greetings component, right, we are not doing anything here actually. We are just returning empty division, right? That is why it's showing empty for you. But we now know that I am passing a prop here, right, for greetings component, so I can use this prop now. Okay, so we told that it will be stored inside this object, right? So what I will do, const details is equal to all props dot whatever name that you gave here. Okay, whatever name that you gave here, that name should come here. Okay, so that details, right? So that means that whatever value that you gave here is now stored in this variable. So I can now say details dot name. If I save it, see here OG. It's clear now. Abdullah, is it clear now? Yeah. Okay, let me do one thing now. Let me do one thing now. Okay. So here there's only one. Okay. Instead of doing like this, right? So now this is an object, right? What I will do is I will do separately. Okay. So const name is equal to OG. There's another const. Okay. Profession is equal to web development. Okay. So there are two variables here. I can pass those two as well. I can pass any number of props as I want. Name is going to be name. Profession is going to be Inshallah. That's not a profession, Akhi. That is something else, Akhi. That's not a profession, right? So I am passing two props here, okay? Name and profession, okay? Let's say I'm going to keep a job, okay? Name and job, okay? So, okay, let me say ism, okay? Is wadifa, okay? Is means name, wadifa means profession, okay? So these two, this data, right, name and profession will be available inside the greetings component, and it will be inside this object, okay? So let's try to do console.log, okay? Console.log all props type. Let me just delete this for the time being. I'm saving it now, okay? And if you now you're not seeing anything here, right? Because what we are rendering here is empty, okay? The visual aspect is currently empty, okay? It's just empty division, that's why you're not seeing here. But you will see something on the console actually. If I say Control Shift plus I, if you go to console here, see it's an object here. What does it say? Ism waji. Can you see it? I think it's very small. Yeah. See here. In the console, right? Which file printed this line? Greetings.js file, line number 5. So this line, right? That printed this object here, okay? Which has ism waji and wadifa web development. The reason why we are seeing in the console is this line will be executed actually. Whatever you write inside the component, right, that will be executed, okay? That's why line number 5 is also executed, okay? So you are seeing that here, okay? So whatever data that we passed from the param component is available inside the child component in this parameter, okay, which is called the props, okay? So I can use it in my component, child component, okay, and I can do whatever I want to with that, okay? So in this case, for example, what I will do is I have to greet, right? So let me just take the name alone, okay? Name is equal to, okay, let me just construct the greeting here. Greeting is equal to, I'm going to create a string literal, so assalamu alaikum, okay, and the name here, okay? So what should be the name? Dot ism. Whatever you gave here on the left side, not this one. Whatever you gave on the left side, right, that should be here, okay? So all props dot ism. So that will be my greeting, right? So I can put it here, okay? And if I save this, you can see assalamu alaikum waji, okay? And I can even directly do it here actually. I don't have to like store separate in a variable and then print that. I can put everything here directly, okay? This is also fine. Okay, it's the same thing, okay? So this is the concept of props actually. So long story short, if you have a child component and if you want to pass some data to the child component, you can do that by way of props, okay? No. You can't do which you can't do between siblings. Okay. Okay. So this is the point here. Okay. I'm able to pass some data from my parent to my child component, and whatever I can have any number of properties. Okay. Any number of props, and all those props will be available inside that object. Okay. And this can be any name that you want to give. Okay, it's your wish. You can say props, or you can say data. It's your wish. Okay. So do you understand till this point? طيب. So there is one thing we have to note. One more thing, which is maybe two things, I guess. So the props are somewhat special. Okay, in the sense that whenever the prop changes, right, the component will re-render. Okay. In the sense that, see, this is our visual aspect, right? And we can run any code that we want here, right? Here we can run any code. Okay. So what the thing is, if any one of the prop changes, right, everything will be run once again. Okay. To say in other words, the component will re-render. Okay. Automatically re-render. That's the point. Yeah, we don't have to do it manually. If the prop changes, right, React will detect that, and it will automatically run everything else, everything that is written here. Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, you have to change the parent, right? So let me demonstrate that. Okay. So now let me do one thing. Let me have. Okay. See. Let me have an alert here. Okay. Okay. Rendering. Okay. If you see here, there's alert message. Okay. And if I go to my here, why I'm seeing the message here, rendering. Let me do one thing. See, I'm reloading. Okay, and I'm seeing the message here, right? Rendering. That means that this code was executed. Okay. No, because alert, right? That is some JavaScript function, which will open this thing for you. That's something inbuilt feature for JavaScript. Yeah. No, it's not like that. This is also executed. Whatever thing that you write in your component, all of that will be executed. Whatever you return here, right, you will see on the screen actually in your web page. Yeah, that's why, see, if you see on the back, right, there is no Assalamu alaikum. Why is the reason? Because I'm currently stopping here actually. I'm currently stopping in line number 4 actually. Okay. This alert statement, right? I have not executed yet. Yeah, that's what it means actually. Because alert, what actually? Yes. Because alert, right? Alert, what it will do is, it will stop the program execution unless you click on OK actually. Okay. That is why you're not seeing anything on this right? Assalamu alaikum. You're not seeing on the screen because the program is currently stopping actually. Once I click on OK, right, you will see that again. See now? So, Taib? No. Console.log won't stop like this. Console.log will print that the console, it will automatically go to the next one. It won't stop it for you. It won't stop until you click on OK or something. No. Alert will do like that. Okay. So okay. Now that's one thing. Okay. Now I want to. What I was saying was, whenever the prop changes, right, the component will re-render. Okay. Like it will run once again. Okay. This entire code will run once again. Okay. Okay. And to demonstrate that, what I can do is, I can use a timer actually. So initially what I'm having here, initially my name is what, I have set that to Waji, right? So what I can do is, I can use a timer. Okay, like have you studied about timers? Set timeout, set interval. Yeah, in telescope you should have learned about that, right? Set timeout and set. Okay. Type. Okay. So what I can do now is, let me do one thing here. So if I want to show this, right, I want to use a use state as well. Okay. So name, set name. Okay. By the way, don't worry about this name and set name as of now. Don't worry about this use state now. Okay, how it works. Just you remember this. Okay. Like there is a variable called name. Okay, whose initial value is this type, and I'm going to pass that. Okay, I'm going to pass this name value to my component. Okay, type. Now it see everything works normal. Okay, it's rendering for you. So I'm seeing the name here. Okay. Now what I will do is that I'm going to change my name after a particular time. Okay, so I can use a what? I can use set timeout, right? Set timeout. For this I will use effect. Okay, that's also something. Don't worry about this as well. Use effect. So don't worry about what this does as well, okay, because we can learn it later. So here what I will do now is I will set a timeout here. Set timeout, okay. What I want to do is I am going to set my name to Abuziyada, okay. After, why it's nastily showing like this? 2 seconds, okay. You understand this line of code, right? This is a function, okay. This function will be executed after 2 seconds, okay. Type. And here what I am saying is that I am using this set name function, okay. So using this I can change the variable, okay. Change this name value actually. Like this, this is special type of variable, okay. You can't directly change it, okay. You can't directly use assignment operator like this. Like you can't say name is equal to Abuziyada. Okay. I think you already studied about this, like in the tutorial that you are watching. No problem. Like you can't do like this, okay. It's a special type of variable, so you have to use a special function to update that value, okay. So this is that function, okay. The set name function will update the value, okay. So what this line number 10 do is, it will change the name to Abuziyada after 2 seconds, okay. Type. So this app component, now if you see, initially it has a variable called name. The initial value is Vaji, okay, and that Vaji value will be passed to, but it's kind of weird actually. I'm using my name here, right? So I should change that, you know. I should keep Abdullah from now. Anyway. Okay, so so initially what I'll be doing is I'll be passing this value to the greetings component, okay, to the ism prop, okay. But after 2 seconds, what? No, don't worry about that actually. Just keep in mind that this will be called when you run the code for the first time alone, okay. When this code is executed the first time, it will be called, okay. Type. So inside the yeah, we'll learn later. Yeah. Akhi, just you don't even consider about this, akhi. You like this code is there, okay. Don't even think about. Don't even look into that, okay. Just look at this line here. Okay, the value of name will be changed to Abuziyada. Will be changed after 2 seconds, okay. This is what, akhi. Don't worry about when this will run anything at all. We'll discuss also later, okay. The thing is, akhi, initially will be the value will be Vaji. After 2 seconds, the value will change to Abuziyada. Just keep that in mind, okay. Don't worry about anything else. So initially, that will be passed, and after 2 seconds, the value will be changed to Abuziyada, right? So the value will change here, okay. So new value will be passed to the greetings function, okay, greetings component, okay, right? So a new value will be passed, and whenever a new value is changed, right, it will render again actually. Entire thing will execute again, and it will be updated here actually. It will change to Assalamu alaikum Abuziyada, and you'll also see alert message because we have put an alert here, right? So you can see it actually, you can see it on the screen. Okay, now let me close this. Okay, let me go to localhost 3000. Okay, so when I go now, first I'm seeing rendering, right? This is the first rendering actually, when this thing is rendered for the first time. Okay, so I click on OK. Type. Now if I click on OK now, right, what you should see is, you should see Assalamu alaikum Waji. Okay, and after 2 seconds you will see another rendering dialog like this, and then if I click on OK, right, that thing will change to Abu Ziyad. Okay, you can just see that. Okay, so now I'm going to click on OK. See now, I got another message, right, alert message, which means that this ran after 2 seconds. Why did that run? Because after 2 seconds we changed the name here, changed the value here, that triggered a rerun for this entire component, and that is why this line was executed, and that is why I'm seeing it here. Okay, on the background you still see Waji, right? The reason is because we're still on this line only. Okay, once I click on OK, right, even this part will be executed once again. Okay, so that will update to Abu Ziyad. Okay, so I click on OK. See now, changed. So this is the concept of props actually. Like, props is a function, is a way using which you can share data from your parent to your children. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is, whenever the prop changes, like even if one of the prop changes, okay, it's not the entire prop. Like if you're giving multiple props right here, name, wadifa, if you're giving multiple props, even if one of the prop changes, then the entire code will run once again. The entire child will re-render. Okay, and everything will be updated. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is the prop actually. This is the concept of props actually. So now tomorrow inshallah we'll discuss about use state actually, because if you understand the props, right, you can also understand about this actually. They are very similar actually. Okay, so we'll leave today. Okay, so inshallah I'll like the lecture will be uploaded tonight only. Okay, because I don't have time for that, so I'll upload in the night. Okay, but what you can do is, you can just come and read about components and props. Okay, I think for this you can that's the thing actually, in the old docs, right, they have class components as well. Okay, so what you can do is, you can go to the new documentation. Okay, there you just search for docs. Okay, so react.dev, so you can come here and read. Okay, so you can search here. Okay, search for props, passing props to a component, right? So you just come and read this section, you'll understand. Okay, right? So I have told you the khulasa of it, but you may find more details here. Okay, so I will come in tomorrow inshallah. Okay, طيب أخي وإياكم أخي سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.